Today on the Canadian Way, the 1995 Geo Tracker. That's the only thing I remember from the movie Juicy and the Pussycat.
Bonjour, hi. I have borrowed this Geo Tracker from a viewer. What is Geo? Well, in the 80s, imports cars were very popular. And GM didn't like that. It took them a lot of sales. So they decided to create a brand of imports car. So they create Geo. Geo offered a lot of vehicles like this Suzuki Grand Vitara rebadge and other weird vehicle import from Daewoo, Isuzu and Suzuki. This is the first generation of the Geo Tracker. It started in 1989 and it continues until 1998. After that, Geo was killed off because imports cars weren't as popular as in the 80s. And GM take these products and split it between these brands. The Geo Tracker went to Chevy. Today, I'm going to review this wonderful Geo Tracker, which has been kept in very good shape, and explain you why this kind of vehicle needs to make a comeback ASAP. Start with the exterior. The Geo Tracker is boxy, as you can see. It's square. It's not very aerodynamic, but it looks happy. It's a happy, squarey vehicle. Look at this front end. It looks happy. It looks like, can you drive me? I want to be driven. Can you drive me? I will be happy if you drive me. By the way, ladies, I'm still single. I want to talk about the logo of Geo. It's kind of the shape of the world with a Chevy logo in the middle of it. Why? If you want to put your Chevy logo, just put it and call it Chevy Tracker. Why do you do that, GM? Why do you do that? That's why you almost went bankrupt a couple of times. The side, you can't undeniably miss how small it is. I mean, it's like 8 foot long. Another thing you can miss, fender flares, cause only men drive fender flares. Okay, maybe not. Look how big this window is. It's the biggest side window I've ever seen fit on a car. I mean, it's like 2 foot high and like 3 foot long. It's crazy. Sadly, the reason why you don't see these so often, it's because they rust. A lot. Like, a lot.
Due to a technical issue, sadly I'm gonna have to take over. I'm very sorry about that. Sometime we got microphone issue. So for this video, the owner asked me to not undo the roof because it's not an easy task and it was a rainy day. So the Geo Tracker comes as standard with a removable roof. So to take off the roof, you first need to take off the side windows. So to do that, you undo the Velcro and then you reach for the zipper and take out the window.
Then you have to undo these Velcro here and then undo the zipper like this all around. Then you have to undo these latches here by pressing the bottom on each side. As you can see, they can be hard. Then you have to take them out like this. Then you can pull out your roof like that. And you have a sunroof. To undo the top, I need to take out these pins, which are pretty hard apparently, and undo these. Once all of that is done, all you have to do is retract the roof and it comes right here. It's a pretty good idea. I really like this roof. It's easier than a hardtop on a Jeep. Let's begin the interior with the trunk, like always. For that vehicle, you're gonna see the interior won't be long because there's not a lot to cover. So to access the trunk, it's pretty easy. You got a door handle here. You open it, and it's surprisingly light, especially considering the spare tire mounted on it. As you can see, when the rear cargo is open, this is still in place. The only way to take it out is to undo the Velcro and the zipper. In that form, with the rear seat in place, the trunk has 230 liters of cargo. And it's not in deepness you have 230 liters, it's in height. So you can put a lot of stuff, but at least you can fit your grocery here. If you want to lower the seat, it's pretty simple. You got two latches on each side. You just pull them and lower the seats. Once the seat is down, you got another latch here, and you just pull it and raise the seat up there. But I'm not done yet. Now that the seat is up, it still want to come back in its place. But Geo, actually Suzuki, thought about a solution. Here we go. Now it won't fall in place. With the seat at this place, you have 830 liters of cargo, which is not a lot. Especially that all this 830 liters is in height, not in deepness again. So this trunk is not really Cinepark proof or dishwasher proof. And you still have this hook in the middle of the place, which can be practical or impractical depending on the situation. To give you an idea of how small the trunk is, this is my shoes. My shoes is 12-inch long. To access the rear seats of the Geo, you need to open the front door. There's no back door, and you pull on this latch, and then the seat fall down and move over, and then I can go in. Right now the seat is at its backup maximum position, and I really don't fit. This is the worst rear legroom I ever had in a review yet. When the seat is at its backup maximum position, that's how much legroom I have. Look, I'm not even sit properly. I don't fit at all. And my head is touching the ceiling. You got your speakers here, which is nice. You can play with them. Oh yeah, I'm having fun. And you got an ashtray. In the rear seat, where most child will sit, because frankly no adult fits in here, they thought you should have an ashtray. Hell yeah, I love the 90s. Get out. I want to get out actually. You just manipulate your hands around the seats and my knees, because I don't fit, and pull on the lever here. Now I can come out. Whew. It's so gracious. Now getting in the front seat of the Tracker, it's going to be a lot easier. You just open the door, sit. It's so easy to sit because the vehicle is high. The door doesn't want to collaborate. I hate you! Door doesn't want to collaborate, but the driving position is excellent. The steering is nice and close to you. The clutch is easy to access. The gas, the brake, the shifter is right there. The driving position is excellent. The seats are very comfortable. I'm surprised by them. They're very, very comfortable. Look how thick the door is. We don't see that in modern car. Most cars are like this big in modern car. It's because this door is only a piece of metal with a vinyl cover on it. That's safety from 1996. It's raining again in Canada. So let's talk about the interior of the Geo Tracker. At the time, airbag was a new thing, and they didn't put the horn in the middle of the steering wheel, but on these bottom, on each side. Sadly, these bottom have break with the time, so the owner has to replace it with a separated switch over here. This idea of having the bottom for the horn was a bad idea, because let's say you're crashing and you're pressing on the horn, the airbag would just crush your finger. But nowadays you're like this, so it's not better. Let's say you're in a hurry and you forgot your key in the ignition switch. Take a listen to the beep. It's so annoying. You won't forget your key, trust me. The climate control are so easy to use. You got your fan speed here, where you want your air to blow here, the control of the heat, and the recirculation. It's all mechanic, it will never break, and it's working fine. Another thing, you got a bottom here, but it's a fake one. There's absolutely nothing going on when you press on it. It's perfect. You have your cigarette lighter here. Sadly, this one is gone. And you have, like every 90s car. No, it doesn't want to work. You're supposed to have an ashtray here when it works. Hold on. Did I break it? I break the ashtray. There's an ashtray here. I break it. Also have your slot here to put your pennies and your gear lever, as always, which is here. 5-speed manual, yeah. To open the hood, you need to access the glove box and pull on the latch over here. That's the only way to open the hood. Under the hood of the Geo Tracker, you're gonna find rooms. Look how roomy it is. And you're gonna find this little 1.6 liter 4-cylinder. It produces 95 horsepower, 98 foot-pounds of torque. This one is matched to a 5-speed manual transmission. You can also have... There's a bug around my camera. Stop attacking my camera. This 1.6 is matched to a 5-speed manual transmission. In option, you can also have a 3-speed auto or 4-speed auto. You're going to average around 10 liters per 100 kilometers, which is a lot by modern standard, but alright for the time. You got front disc, rear drum, independent suspension, solid axle, and rear lock differential all the time, and front locking diff. Check this out. To lock the front diff, you have to turn this. Now it's locked. Now it's unlocked. That's very cool and very practical for off-roading. These vehicles are known to be very good off-roader because they're light, they got front and rear locking diff, they got a middle differential locking with high range and low range, and they're small. They can go everywhere. This is one of the best vehicles for the Canadian tundra. Driving the Geo Tracker. What a pleasure it is. First thing you notice when driving the Tracker is that the first gear is really short. It can go around 40 kilometers an hour if you really push the engine to its maximum RPM, which I won't do. Second thing, I don't know if you hear the car, the sound deadening is inexistent in that car. Listen, here's a car. It's absolutely funny. You hear everything top on or off. In everyday driving, the engine make a pretty good job. I'm surprised. I was expecting it to be slower, but you don't really rev higher than 2,000 to 2,500 RPM, which is surprising. The visibility is probably the best I ever had in any car. The windows are so huge, it's unbelievable. I see everything. The steering is very, very light. It's the lightest I ever test. It gives absolutely no feedback, but it's precise. I'm surprised. I'm into bumpy road right now and I can feel everything. The car is jumping around. I was expecting that from that vehicle. It's jumpy, like there's a good one here. Okay, it's really jumpy, but it's fun. I don't know, there's something about this vehicle. makes it so fun. Like, there's something about that vehicle. You're not going fast and you're having a blast, and I really like that vehicle actually. Oh, the bumps, it's terrible though in the bump. It's funny. It's not built, it was built for off-road first, then on-road performance. Handling is scary. You can go fast in the corner, it will roll over. You really feel that the rear wheel wants to lift off when you're asking a little bit too much of it. And when I say asking a little bit too much, it's like really going slow in the corner. But anyway, the brakes are scary. These ones are bent. These ones are bent, so they jump. But the brake doesn't seem to be that performant. I'm getting on the highway. It's slow. It goes from 0 to 100 km in around 13 seconds. It's slow, it's noisy, but it's fun. I'm going 100 kilometers an hour now in the Canadian highway, on the Canadian highway with bumps, and it is scary and noisy, but it's so fun. There's something about this vehicle, its simpleness makes it so fun. I really understand the owner of keeping that vehicle alive. I mean, it's a blast. This is the Miata of the SUV, and frankly, I want one. Get that fun in the new subcompact SUV, the Chevy Trax, the Mazda CX-30. Oh god, the braking is scary. When you're driving this, you're not in a hurry for anything. It's like if the time was stopping, I would always be late to work if I had one of these. Just enjoy the moment, and you don't get that in new car. People are watching me right now like, holy crap, I used to have one of these. Oh wow. Honestly, I was expecting it to be like everything I just said, but I didn't expecting it to be that fun. Yeah, one thing I will do if I own one is put better brakes. Honestly, the brakes are scary on that vehicle. I'm thinking about selling my RAV4 and buying one of these for daily. It's just so fun. I will always be late at job, and I already got a roofless car, so I don't know. To conclude, the Geo Tracker is a blast to drive. It can be dangerous, but it's so fun. It's so alive. I love it. It's a blast. So, why do a vehicle like the Tracker need to make a comeback? It's pretty simple. Right now, a vehicle this size is called a crossover. And a crossover is just a car, this squish, in an SUV. While this is an SUV made smaller. End of the line. Sadly, like a crossover, these aren't practical. You can barely put your grocery in the back. And unlike a crossover, they're dangerous. I don't want to be in an emergency situation in that vehicle. The brakes are terrible and it might roll over. But in exchange you get off-road capability and a real all-wheel drive, which most crossover doesn't even have. So that's why at $4,000 this vehicle is barely recommend. Barely. I'm still in between Canadian recommend and Canadian disapprove. I'm still hesitating, but it's driver recommend. It's so fun to drive. It's definitely driver recommend, and I'm thinking about getting one right now.